Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to our annual Hanukkah Menorah lighting. We've been doing this I have been for the last 15 years. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Ira Novoselsky. I'm the past National Commander of the Jewish War Veterans and also a City Councilor. With us tonight, we have our Honorable Mayor, and we have our Council President, Anthony Zambuda, Rabbi Baron, Representative, City Councilor Jessica Giannino, City School Committee Person Anthony D'Ambrosio, Anthony Cacciano, is it? Yep. Okay, Michael Ferranti, I'm sorry, Rabbi?
Rabbi Leo.
Rabbi. Okay, thank you all for coming. We always try to do this. We're lucking out a little. It's not raining out and it's not super cold like it has been in the past. We haven't had this for 2 years. And we're glad that we can all come out and gather together. And some of us have masks, some of us don't. But it's outside, so we feel a little more comfortable with it. We love doing this, and we always want to be inclusive with everybody and have everybody together. Where's our Human Rights Commission? Members are here. We thank them for coming down. We try to get everybody involved. And we had if you notice, we have a different menorah this year. The one we had before was set up the other day, didn't work. We had to go into the bullpen and pull out the, the old pitching crew. So with that, I'm going to call the mayor on for a few words, and then we'll have the rabbi say a few words, and our council president a few words. And then we'll start lighting the menorah and do the shamas and the candles that have to be done. And of course, we'll have Jessica speak too. So, Mr. Mayor?
Great. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Ira. Thank you for always being willing to step up to the plate and make this happen. And when he told me the other day that we had an issue with the menorah, I was very, very concerned. And I'm glad that we were able to get into the bullpen and find another one, a replacement. Rabbi Baron, thank you for your commitment to our community, and Rabbi Lior, thank you again. One thing that has shown through over a really difficult time is our faith community, and the leaders of our faith community have been there for our residents time and time again. And I know they're probably sick of me, of hearing me say it every time I'm in their presence, but I can't thank them enough for what they did for our community as we were challenged and as we went through a really challenging time. So everyone, I hope you all have a very happy Hanukkah. I hope we have a beautiful month of December, which is really a special month for so many of our residents. And this is one of the highlights of our holiday season. So thank you all for being here, and I'll turn it over to Council President Anthony Zambuda.
Good evening, everybody. I want to first wish everybody a happy Hanukkah. I think Ira mentioned this is the 15th year we've done this, and I think I've been here for every one of them, and I certainly will be here for the next 15, hopefully. But I don't have much to offer except this is a wonderful crowd here on a chilly night here, so happy Hanukkah.
Thank you. Jessica Giannino.
Hello, everyone. Happy Hanukkah. I first want to start by acknowledging my colleague, Rep. Turco, who couldn't be with us this evening. He's recovering from surgery. He's home. He's doing well, but he wanted me to express his happy Hanukkah wishes to everyone here, and he wishes he could be with here tonight. What a beautiful celebration. Hanukkah is the festival of lights. It's a celebration of miracles. And I think after coming out of the last year that we've went through, we could all use a little more light in our lives and a little more miracle. So happy to be here this evening and wishing everyone celebrating a very happy Hanukkah.
Just go to Rabbi.
Rabbi?
Okay.
Yeah, Rabbi Baron.
Thank you. Happy Hanukkah, everyone. A very happy and healthy Hanukkah to each and every one of you. Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for always being here. Ira, for putting this on every year. It's a wonderful tradition, and I'm glad that we're still doing it. Thank you to all of our elected officials, city council members, school committee members, and Rabbi, thank you as well for being here. Just a short thought about what we're doing here tonight, what the menorah represents, and what it could represent in each and every one of our lives. We speak about the miracle of Hanukkah, or the miracles of Hanukkah. What are these miracles that we are celebrating? 3,334 years ago in the land of Israel. The land of Israel was occupied by the Assyrian Greeks, who sought to stamp out Judaism, Jewish life, and the practice of Jewish traditions. Some Jewish people assimilated, became Hellenized, adopted to the Greek culture, and some Jewish people went into hiding in order to continue practicing their religion. But as we know, as we thank God, take for granted, the way that Judaism, the way that any religion is meant to be practiced is openly and freely without threat of injury or death. And ultimately, a small band of Maccabees, warriors who believed that their Judaism, their religion should be practiced freely and openly, rose up against the Assyrian Greeks, and through a series of miraculous military victories against all odds, defeated the mighty Greek army and drove them from the land of Israel. That was miracle number one. That's what we call the miracle of the battle. Afterwards, when the Jewish people, when the Maccabees came back into the temple, they found it desecrated. All of the holy artifacts were strewn about, and all of the oil that was used, excuse me, it's just my hood. All of the oil that was used to light the menorah, the candelabra in the temple, all of the jugs had been smashed and broken. And they wanted to light the menorah because what the menorah represents, what it represented then and what it represents now, is bringing light into the darkness, bringing the light of spirituality, bringing the light of goodness and kindness into a world full of darkness, suffering, and evil. And to celebrate their victory, to reclaim the temple, they wanted to show that their intention with that was to continue being a beacon of light and goodness and kindness in the world, but they couldn't. They had no oil. One of the Maccabees found a single flask of oil, and when they used it to light the menorah, they realized it was only enough to last for one night. And it would take them 8 days to procure new oil with which to light the menorah. And that's where the second miracle of Hanukkah happened, the miracle of the lights. That oil that was meant to only last for one night burned throughout the entire next day and the next night and the next night for all 8 days until they had new oil with which to light the menorah. And that's why every year during the festival of Hanukkah, we light the menorah for 8 nights. Here's a question for you all. If you were listening to that story, you will have heard that the miracle of Hanukkah in fact lasted for 7 days, not 8 days. Then why do we celebrate for 8 days? And I'll explain, right? They had enough oil to last for one night, so that's not miraculous. That's natural. The fact that it continued to burn the next day, well, that's miraculous. So we should theoretically be celebrating Hanukkah for 7 nights. What is the hidden miracle of Hanukkah that we are essentially celebrating on the first night? The answer to this question that I saw from the commentaries is very beautiful, and within it lies a very important lesson that if I had my way, each and every one of you will take home tonight and implement it in your lives. If you could imagine for a moment that you are a Maccabee. You are coming into your place of religious worship, and it's been desecrated, and you're facing the ultimate darkness. The sun is going down. It's going to be nighttime with physical darkness, but you're enveloped with spiritual darkness. What you see all around you is desolation. What you see around you is the prevalence of evil. And you have enough oil to light it for one night. Do you go ahead and light it? It's going to go out tomorrow morning. You don't have more oil to keep the light going. So why even try? What's the point of lighting the first candle if it's not going to last? Many people would throw up their hands in despair and say, why even bother? Why even try? We can't finish this thing, so then why should we start? That was the miracle of the first night of Hanukkah, that the Maccabees had faith. They recognized that I have the ability to do something good now. I have the ability to bring light into the world now with the tools at my disposal. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. It doesn't matter. What I need to do is start. I don't need to finish it. I need to start. I need to do my utmost to bring light and goodness and kindness into my surroundings. And the rest is up to God. When they had that faith, when they used the tools at their disposal to do what they could to make the world a better and brighter place, that's when the miracle began. That's when the miracle began. The lesson for each and every single one of us, I believe, is very clear. We face around us a world that sometimes seems very dark. That sometimes it seems like evil, like bad people are succeeding, and the forces of goodness and kindness, good people doing good work, they seem to be doing work against all odds. Like it seems like, will it even make a difference? The darkness is so great. There's so much adversity, so much pain, and so much suffering around us. Is it even worth it to try? And the lesson from the Maccabees is yes. You need to do your part. Take the tools at your disposal to make the world a better, brighter, kinder place. And that's when miracles happen. So as we light the menorah, feel free to close your eyes and meditate on this idea. Think about your immediate surroundings, the people in your life that may be facing darkness, and think about what you can do to bring light into that darkness and make a firm resolution to start doing that work, to start doing those acts of goodness and kindness. And just think about the power of 30 or 40 lights that are standing here today, 30 or 40 flames that bring light into their surroundings. See, the power of a flame is that fire exhibits the concept of a non-zero sum game. If I share my flame with you, I don't have less of it. I've just created more light and more warmth in the world. And then you can take your flame and light somebody else's. And then they could take theirs and light another one and another one and another one. And that is how these miracles happen. With that, without further ado, I'll hand it back to Ira.
Thank you, Rabbi. Before we go into a few more, thank you. I do want to recognize a few people that came in. Fire Chief Chris Bright is here. Thank you. City Clerk Ashley Beldick is here. Who else did I miss? Anybody? Who's that?
John Kingston.
Oh, right here. That's Steve. Steve Post from the Sada House, Jack Sada House. John Kingston is here, our school committee elect. Anybody else? Well, Rabbi Barron is from the Mystic River Chabad in Everett. And he and Rabbi Lipsker from the North Shore Chabad have been pushing this and helping us ever since the city menorah passed, burnt out, as you want to say. But what I want to do is I want to call on Rabbi Gil now from the Sada House for a few words from her, and she and Steve are representing the Sada House and all the residents down there. So Rabbi,
thank you, Ira. Thank you so much, and thank you everybody, and thank you, Rabbi, for your words of inspiration. And it's a great honor to be here amongst all these sources of light here, who bring so much light to our city and to our world. And Rabbi Barron spoke a lot about the miracles of Chanukah, and I just wanted to, there are a lot of reasons for why we celebrate Hanukkah. I'm not going to repeat the reasons he gave, but I'll give another story that we have in our tradition. Maybe a less known story, and it's a more universal story that appears in our Talmud, in our sacred text. And it says how that when the world was created, when God created the world, and the only human in the world was Adam, he saw the world getting darker and darker. You know, the winter was coming, the days were getting shorter and shorter, it was getting darker earlier and earlier. Here we're here at 4:30 and it's already pretty dark outside. And he didn't have who to ask, what's going on here? It was pretty scary. And he realized, okay, maybe the world is coming to an end. Maybe that's it. The world was created, maybe now the world's gonna end. And maybe I did something wrong. Maybe it's all because of me that the world is coming to an end. And not knowing what to do, he decided to fast and repent and pray and do everything to make the world not end. And then he fasted for 8 days and prayed for 8 days, and sure enough, the world started getting lighter and lighter. The days started getting longer and longer. We know that it's going to happen here in about 3 weeks, right? When the days are going to get longer and longer. And Adam realized that, okay, this is how the world works. Sometimes we have longer times of darkness and sometimes we have longer times of light. And he decided to celebrate now for 8 days after he fasted for 8 days. I love this story because it's a very universal story. It talks about, the creation of the world, and it talks about our own fears of that time of not knowing exactly what's going on, not knowing how long this darkness is going to last. God knows that in the past almost 2 years with this pandemic, we've been a lot in that situation of, is this ever going to end? Are we ever going to get out of this situation? And then the lights did start coming, and we got the vaccines and we got the boosters, and here we're having another little hump in our road, but we know that times come and they go. And I also like this story because this year I've been thinking a lot about how that we need that balance. The light is great and the light is contagious, and that's a good kind of contagious as opposed to other contagious we've been talking about lately in the past 2 years. But we also need that darkness sometimes. Darkness is good. Darkness is healthy for us. We need that darkness for us to live. We live in a world that's almost light all the time where we are in the cities. But we also need that darkness sometimes. And as long as we know that we'll have that balance, sometimes we'll have that darkness and then we'll have that light, I feel we'll be in a good, emotionally healthy place. So I'm wishing us all to enjoy the dark. We have it for 3 more weeks of these short days, and enjoy the light that we can bring to this world, and enjoy the light from our Menorah, our Chanukah. And happy Hanukkah and happy holidays, everybody.
Just a couple more acknowledgments. We have from the Jewish War Veterans in Revere, Prince Strauss Grumman Post, Joe Cole, the commander, and from Congregation Tiferet Israel, Billy Lippman and his wife. So we thank them for coming down. Now, one thing the rabbi mentioned about passing flames across, that's the whole idea of lighting the menorah. The middle light is called the shamus. It's like the kingpin. That actually lights every light. Now, even though we light the lights from that way, from left to right, right to left, we actually start with the newest light, the newest candle. That would be this one. So when we light them, we're going to have the mayor, being the king around here. He's going to light the shamus, okay, which is going to open up everything to everybody. And then we'll have somebody light the first candle, then the candle, and then the older candles lit after the fact. Now tonight I have mixed emotions, and it's a happy night that we remember Hanukkah. But I remember in 1975, this is the memorial of my dad passing. So we're talking, 43 years? 40 years that, he's gone. And we've always lit the menorah, even when he was around, years before that. And now, thank God, I'm around to help continue that, not only here at City Hall, but also at home with my wife, my grandchildren, and my friends. So with that, I think we got everybody that we want to speak, and we're going to ask the mayor to light the middle. Just turn them all. Yeah. Just turn it all the way through. There you go. There's one.
Sing the blessings. Sing the blessings. And
Afterwards?
before we light the candle.
You want to do it before?
Yeah.
Okay, they want to sing blessings before. Well, you sing them.
I'll sing them. If you recognize the tune, sing along. If you don't recognize the tune, hum along. I hate doing this solo, so please help me out. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim lavoteinu bayamim hahem b'hazeman hazeh.
Representative, you get to light the newest candle tonight.
Thank you.
That one right there.
Okay.
Yep, keep turning it till it goes on the other way. There you go. Keep going. There you go. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Council Zambuda, the next one over. Right here. Just turn it until it goes on. There you go. Easy one. Anthony D'Ambrosio.
This one?
Next one down. Yep. Keep turning the other way. The other way. There you go. Excellent. Excellent. And Joe Cole, where are you? Come on up. Have the Jewish war veterans light a candle. Number 2. There you go. Cool. And where's Billy Lippman? From our congregation to Ferret Israel. It used to be on Shirley Ave. It is now a veterans building. He is our vice president to light the final candle for tonight. So with that, we thank everybody for coming down.